all recipe notifications, click on this bell icon and never miss a video from Get Curried.
Crisp on the outside and soft and fluffy on the inside. That's exactly how I like my waffles, and my family loves that I make them this way for them too. I'm Tarika, welcoming you to Get Curried. Now, to make these waffles nice and fluffy, what I like to use is buttermilk, but I use a little bit of a hack for buttermilk at home. This is 3/4 cup of milk, to which I'm going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice. And it's absolutely fine to use vinegar, apple cider vinegar, anything like that. Just give that a stir and just let it set aside. Just put it aside for 5 minutes till it curdles. Until then, we can move on to the dry ingredients. Now, moving on to the dry ingredients, I make these waffles with a mixture of all-purpose flour, that's a refined flour, and whole wheat flour. So the first thing that I'm adding is 120 grams of all-purpose flour, and this is 40 grams of whole wheat flour. Now, this is the same that we use at home to make chapatis and things like that. So the two flours are in the sifter. Now, the next thing is going to be a tiny pinch of cinnamon, not too much, we don't want it to overpower anything, and a tiny pinch of salt as well, a tablespoon of caster sugar, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Now, baking soda makes all the difference because we're using a buttermilk recipe, so it reacts with the buttermilk. Now that's perfect. I'm just going to sift all of this together. And by now, this milk has curdled so well. That's beautiful. Okay, so now to this, I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil. Now just make sure this is a flavorless oil, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 egg. This is a large egg. I'm just going to crack it open directly into this. Okay, great. So now I'm just going to very gently, without making a mess, whisk all this together so that the egg breaks up, everything mixes well together. So now that the wet ingredients are nicely mixed together, I'm just going to make a slight well in the center of the dry ingredients and just pour the wet ingredients into it. Lovely. And just mix this together. Now, what we're looking for in this batter is to make sure that there are no floury bits left. But if you find slight lumps in the batter, that, however, is absolutely fine, because these little lumps, in this case, because it's a buttermilk batter, fluff up when we make the waffles. So that really gives us a beautiful texture. Just make sure you've got all the bits of flour that are stuck to the sides of the pan as well. Now, what's really important is to set this batter aside for 10 minutes before you start making the waffles. It'll just give the batter some time to rest and ferment slightly, not over ferment. And that also gives us enough time to preheat the waffle iron. So my waffle iron requires that I preheat it before I start making the waffles, but every waffle iron is different, and if you are going to make this recipe for the first time, I would suggest that you do a test batch with your waffle iron. So I usually give about 10 minutes to my waffle iron to preheat, and also 10 minutes for the batter to rest, so it's perfect timing. The batter is well rested and the iron has heated up really well. I'm just going to brush it with some oil, again a flavorless oil. Now, usually I don't like to use butter for greasing the waffle iron. Oil is just better. Take an oil with a high smoking point, and really that's it, you're just good to go. So I'm going to use this 1/4 cup measure to just plunk some batter. So just land that in the center. You can use a spoon or a spatula to make sure you get all the batter out of the cup, and just spread it slightly, not too much. Now, what I really like to do is just kind of not take it all the way to the sides, because it gives me very cute shapes. So that's just how I like to make them. But I will also take one all the way to the edges and show you how that looks. Okay, that's it. I'm going to leave that one there. And on the other side, I'm going to fill it with a half cup measure to make one that goes all the way to the edges. And just shut this till it's nice and golden and crispy on both sides. It's been a couple of minutes and it smells heavenly. Oh my god, and it looks even better. So the waffles, as you can tell, have browned really well, and just see, they've fluffed up slightly. I'm just going to take that one out, put it here, and check on this larger one too. That's beautifully golden. I'm just going to flip this one over and cook it at the bottom side as well. Now, again, very unique to my waffle iron, it doesn't heat equally on both sides, so I'm just going to let it heat a little bit on the bottom also. Again, a couple of minutes on that side, and this waffle is done too. I usually like my waffles topped with fresh fruits and maple syrup or honey, whatever I have at hand. So the fruits I'm using today are strawberries and bananas, largely because strawberries are in season, but I've made these with apples, pears, anything that's in season. And now I'm just going to drizzle it with some honey. Now these waffles are actually just calling out to me, so I'm going to rush because I need to tuck into them. But if you like this recipe, which I'm sure you will, please like the video, share it with your friends, leave a comment below, and of course, subscribe to Get Curried.